Good, Jim?
That's yours.
Yeah, there's one right there, I'm sorry.
How you doing, Marty?
Oh, yeah. Not bad, how you all doing?
Good.
Yes, wonderful. That's good.
I should have brought them back here.
You good?
Mark, there's a card there for you on that chair.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Time.
Not yet, 1 minute. Half a minute.
Did you want an agenda?
Yeah, I'll do it. We'll not be here that long. We're hoping I'll be.
Okay, let's start the meeting with pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good, I want to thank everyone for coming to the meeting. Did you guys get a chance to read the minutes?
I make a motion to accept minutes for March meeting.
I'll second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Got it. How about the bills? We go to the bill list.
I make a motion we pay the bills and transfer any funds as needed.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes, got it. Okay, correspondence. Bridge inspection report, accident at bridge follow-up. So we got that report finally.
No, it's just the same thing they sent before, I'm not sure. It's from somebody else though. Let me see. No, I have it in there, it's the same exact thing.
Same thing, we just gotta wait for the weather, right? Sometime we'll get
Print it
together,
out.
put some forms and form that out, concrete it, and we'll be good. Senator Langer will speak on April 10th, closing of the Queehana Boot Camp. Please show support by a letter to the governor. So, who sent that?
Langer Health Office.
And he wants us to send a letter of support not to shut it down.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, what do we need to do about that? Just,
I guess just read the letter.
we don't need a motion or anything for that, right? Yeah. I'm in favor, I mean, I don't really know the logistics of it, but I'm in favor of writing letters, saying we support to try to keep it, huh?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there's people with their
Work here, that I know of, so Kim, if you would write a letter of support. Stuff from McGraw, give us a letter stating they submitted a permit app to Pennsylvania DEP Act 14, wastewater treatment improvements. So, I don't know exactly yet. Maybe I should, wish I'd had time to stop and read it first, but. So anyway, they're gonna do some improvements to the plant. And it's all in here if you guys wanna read it. And then they just sent in for the permit, get ready, probably to start the bidding process for it. It's all here if you guys get a chance, you can
Yeah.
read that. Valley Cog Equipment Show is May 28th. Cement sign up for the attendees. All three of us going, and probably, I'm sure Eric will. All right,
I'll ask him.
and Mark, yeah, find out if Mark's going. Oh, and don't forget, we gotta get the donuts.
I don't forget doing
I was already asked to pick them up. Clearfield County Tax Claim Bureau accepted bids on 2 properties for unpaid taxes since 16. Do you know where those are, Ken?
Well, they belong to Amy Carnes. And it has a map number, there are 2 of them.
Okay.
And the people who bought it are the people that were here, we just did a subdivision for them in the fall. There's Carnes.
Okay, public comment. You're up.
I agree on everything. The reason I'm here is Dick Kemp, one of the guys here?
Yep, me.
Okay, I was up to your house one day. I have my property separated, I live in Rosebud. My house is out front, I'm putting a trailer on the back. Where the borough's road comes down North Hill Street, there's a lot of water because of broken stuff, pipes. Whether I gotta pay for it or someone else pays for it, it gotta get done. And the property's like, where my property ends, it's way out there, and they're gonna be coming, put pools in. I have to have sewer hooked up. They're gonna be putting a new water thing in. And with all this going on, which is gonna be on, according to them, I know the pools, the water authority,
Okay.
and the sewer authority. It's gonna be dug out onto where the borough is, and I need guidance on it, and Jack Carnes gave me you. I need the, 10, for the trailer, I need 10, pillars put in. It's a 10 by 40, or 14 by 40, and it's not sitting where it's going, but I have to have it built up, and there's drainage problems. On the top street, which is called Walnut
Can you
Street.
bring that to me and show me on there? You got a map of it?
Yeah, I got everything, I bought all this stuff. I own out front here, and I have my property out back, put in here. Here's where my garage is now, this is here. I got a mobile home sitting right here. I need the pillars down here and a build up. Out here on North Hill Street, which my property ends here, North Hill Street's like clear over here. The water runs down here, runs right onto my property in the backyard. The neighbor put a pipe in down below, and they're gonna be putting all this stuff out here, and I need some guidance on where I can get the drainage out of there. You know, and like I said, here's actually the map of the place. I was hoping someone could stop down, I need to hire someone to do this too, because, well, I have to, I'm gonna sell my house. So, the whole deal, I'm putting this trailer back and sell my house. Okay, right here, here's that Walnut Street, it's all grown in. Here's North Hill Street, here's where my property is, right here. I already have the garage here, the trailer's gonna go here, my driveway's over here. But out on here, there's, like the water's over here, the authority has that. They're gonna talk about put something like right in here. And they said, we can't put on the property, so I said, all right. But the pool company, I just called a hold of them, they're probably gonna put a pool here, and I'm probably gonna have it underground to wherever my garage is now, thing back here. And there's, like it says, all along here, it runs back here, and there's a bunch of trees growing in it, and it just goes right down into here and soaks. And the neighbor he paid and put a thing across the road down here where the root bombs over across the thing. And at the very least, I'm gonna have to have, I don't want the water coming from everybody else's house down the road to broken pipes. I wanna be able to at least drive over, you know, put a pipe that I can drive over.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to come down with you. Your name's Neil, I take it, you know? We're gonna have to come down and, look at that and see if it needs a pipe. But the one thing that just got me just for clearing my head, you said that the water authority said they're putting something there, but they're not putting it on your property. What is that?
That's one of the meters, I guess.
Oh, for you, private water meter.
Yeah, they're not allowed to put them on their property because, or I don't know if they have to put on, nowadays they do it differently, so you have to pay for the whole thing.
Right, you have to pay for it, put the meter pit, but it will go on your property, the meter pit.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So, well, they were wrong, they were telling me about putting it clear out here, like I have my property lines marked too, I just haven't sold it. And like I said, across here's where the sewage, in fact, they have like right here, they come out with the sewage company, they put some, lines here. This is where they're gonna let me tap in if I can find the old one, cause there was a trailer.
Is this paved down this far?
No,
No pavement.
no, it ends right here, and that's another thing. I don't know if those are, they just put, we just put another, they put another trailer in down here. Cause we have that, pile out.
Okay.
Since it's part of
We
the
turn around just before his
Yeah,
area.
we told him, that's what he said, he'd like to start plowing one down now.
Yeah, and they just put a new trailer in right here.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah,
And
and
it sits at an angle.
they put a new house in here a couple of years ago. His daughter put a trailer in here.
Oh.
Which we could probably just,
The radio.
this here is private though.
Yeah, it's wood ones. They don't mind, they
How
sign.
far is ours? How far does ours go? I was just thought.
I think
Oh,
it's
you
right
guys-
here. Well, they told me that over here where they put the trailer, they're 223 North Hill Street or something like that, so they're still considered North Hill Street.
No, it gives her down here.
Yeah, she said it's all.
Them kids will be getting a lot.
New trailer.
Yeah, she said it's all weird, in fact, part of their lands, didn't even know. In fact, I didn't even know there was an alley that went through here. I built one, and luckily for you guys, you sold me it, or whatever, let me buy it back.
Right.
I know, even in the old map, like, whenever I come back from the courthouse, before I had all this survey, we didn't have that alley in there, they had all this other stuff.
Right.
But anyways,
Well, don't, we didn't sell it to, we just abandoned
you just.
it. Yeah, it's your ground, we just had rights for an alley there, but we just abandoned it, so
Yeah.
that's back to you.
Yeah, don't tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dale, yeah, we need to stop that, look, cause some of that stuff's private on you, some of it's on the township, maybe this road and this grading, so we'll make it a point to, stop down and look at it over. But
Yeah.
it's not this week yet.
That's cool, like I said, I just wanted to get ahead of it, because they're gonna be starting to come in. Even though the water company told me they'd be putting me there next week, I know it'll take them 2 months, because the neighbor down below told me it'll take them months.
Well,
And like even the, I'm not in a hurry for it, but I wanna have it done because, I wanna sell my house. Move back here. I have all these buildings, I'm taking care of them.
you're gonna sell your cars.
They're all in there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all in there.
I'm wondering.
That's a 30 by 60 and holds 9 cars, and I only have 6. So-
Alright,
There you go.
well, you keep
How
all
long
this,
was steel?
are you down there, are you there quite a bit, easy to get you?
Yeah, I'm not, I'm just here, that's, I'm not almost all the time.
Well, I'll get
The
with
long
these
range,
guys,
I'll give it, you know.
I'll get with these guys and we'll stop down and we'll see you about
That's
it.
good, because like I said, Jack,
We
I'm
can't
giving
really
you your
decide.
name and stuff, so if you, I don't know how busy you are, but you should let me know. And
Yeah.
maybe you can do the work for me. I know that you guys can't put the trailers in and stuff. I have to have someone else do it, do the manufacturer, which I got from Champion. And I hear Jack wants to sometimes close. It's only a 14 by 40.
Yeah.
40 feet long.
Yeah, it's nice though. I got it for 20 grand off. I went down to the factory in December and looked at them how they built it. And they were offering 20 grand off on it, so I just bought it. I got upgrades like the 2x6 walls. I got some nicer interior, a couple other things. They shipped it, it was only 45 grand right there, ready to go.
Oh my goodness.
They says you can't open it until it's on the pillars and make inspections and all that stuff.
Sure.
But yeah.
Well, we'll stop there this week and get ahold of you.
Okay, so I was.
There's not really nothing we can do there by looking at that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just brought it by to show you kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah,
Okay, do I have to stick around?
nope, you're good, as long as you're good.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It says, you guys know where I'm at back there and all that stuff then.
Yep,
Okay, cool, thanks.
yep.
Take
thank
care.
you.
Yep, you do, thanks.
Wait, can you back up 1 second? Does anybody need this flagger training at the PSATs thing?
I don't think I do. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but we're not, is it a PSAT or the equipment show?
At PSATs provides that.
Right,
equipment show.
equipment show, yeah.
What, how long was that class?
It's still dinner time, that's usually what we
Okay.
start, what's that?
Been there all morning.
Yeah, it's all morning till dinner.
You just have to register for it.
Right.
If so.
Yeah, cause they're already got a power registered.
So now nobody's doing that.
I will take that.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Well, as you know, or probably already know, Glenville Fire Company and Madera Fire Company, that's going to be called Shannon Valley Fire Company. Okay? Well, I had to do some digging, but I found it, okay? There is a contract, but somebody might not even been born December 31st, 1983. If you want to look and take that.
That's a contract with Glen Hope.
Yeah, I know with.
Is that when Glen Hope formed their fire company?
No, it's 78, 79. And the $500 is what it's been, let's shoot, it was yearly, that's the way it's been. And we never made any changes on it. Now, we're, gonna have to do something one way or another now.
We have a sample contract there.
Up here it is.
That through there, all of our
I brought up the coffee.
townships we covered before, we have a contract with them. Simple reason is, federal surplus is getting picky. If we get money from the municipality, they wanna see a contract, and every 3 years I gotta send the contract down to satisfy them. So they know that we're part of a municipality more or less, so we can get on and get stuff. So that's kind of why we also started the contracts. Plus, the fire company in our township always fought forever down there. It's been really good lately, okay? But we still have a contract, that way we kind of know for sure what we're gonna get. And, we can adjust, try to adjust or whatever, and go from that way. That's the sample contract.
So, you're saying that we need to now since Glen Hope's no more,
That's correct.
we need to do a contract with.
Right, so the legal name is Madera Volunteer Fire Company, but we have a DBA in the Shannon Valley Fire Department. That way, when we both went in, because if we would change everything to the Shannon Valley, I'd have to get all new tax numbers, all that stuff. So it's easier using all of our tax numbers.
And do we get the same thing do we send this check every year?
Yeah.
And so it says here, the cost of the professional compensation for 200 people, which will be $200 plus $500. So what do we send every year, 700?
Probably more than that. The compensation goes to the borough.
Went to the borough.
Went to the borough
And
then.
then the new contract will go to Bigwood Township.
The fire company got $500 forever. I mean, I was involved, I was a young kid at the time, but, we got $500 from McCary Township ever since that was written, which, if you read about it, it should have been updated and stuff, that never, no on either side ever did, because every December we would get
Yeah, we didn't pay the, workers' comp also.
Yeah, or whatever
And-
goes to the borough.
And any type of relief, I guess, you said.
And the relief, and we got the relief money too.
I guess when we changed everything over, took it out of them, we put the workers' comp with Bigwood Township. And I estimated 70 people, I don't know, what he told me from, I'm gonna call it the new bridge here on 53, by Churner's, I think, is it Churner over there? Then he comes up to the crossroads and up, to Mansion and up to, I had no idea how many people were there. And they wanna know, because the workers' comp was how many people you cover also. So I just put down 70, I have no,
Well,
we have no big area, but not that many people, I guess.
And it goes, the other way, it goes up to Henry's Road when it switches over to Jordan. That's part of us too, part of what, it was those three areas.
Well, this says 200 here, but that has to be way high.
That's crazy, that was, I'm sure they paid a lot more.
Back then, I bet you might
Back
have
then,
been 200 then, because I kind of washed because for a workers' comp, the population kept going down and down, almost every place.
Yeah, and I don't see a lot in that area of people, there's old houses.
I don't know where that came from,
Right, About 2/3 of them.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so you brought us this contract, and it's basically the typical contract. So then how do we come up with, how do we do that compensation? The borough tells us what percentage, they're paying it and they give us the percentage,
It's
right?
based on the census, like you can get on the census website and figure out.
Right, and that's kind of where the workers' comp goes from, they'll go from 2020 census. So right now, I know our township's kind of whining a little bit because the 2020 census, I think they already lost 50 or 60 people out of the township, you know what I mean? So, but they don't drop the workers' comp because it's every 10 years,
Right.
you know? So that's kind of how it goes. Like I said, our township pays right around between, well, I have Bigler, Knox, Glen Hope Borough now, they pay in between $8 to $10 a person is what it's averaging. And then the workers' comp, the Bigler Township can only charge you your fair share of the workers' comp. So you can ask to see, even though it's gonna be, and it's gonna be with their fire company name, because when they had the Cancer Presumption Act, all the insurance companies, for the township to get it, put us under it, and their insurance was a lot more than what they could buy their own, like for the secretary and the workers. They can get insurance cheaper than go through the state fund. All of our insurance for the workers come from firemen come through the state fund. So they just jack it up. So we had to put it in the fire company's name, but they get the bill and pay everything. So I don't, I know, it's right around 10,000 they've been paying,
And then they divide it up by the percentage.
Right, I would take it, I thought they were doing it by how many people we were each one.
So how do we go about getting this contract, figuring out what the price and everything is?
Tell us, how, like I said, it's kind of, it's not new to me for contracts, but like I said, I cover whole townships, the boroughs right now. We cover them instead of just part of it, so it's gonna be what you think part of it is. I have no idea.
What would we pay Reed Township for,
You know,
we don't have a contract with them?
now we have a contract with Arvona, Glen Hope, Coolport, Rainey.
And what
Do you
would we
know
pay?
what, I don't have any idea, what kind of compensation were you paying to Glen Hope Borough?
I could look it up if you want me to.
Yeah, I have no idea how much that was. I mean, I know they're paying $6,500 or $6,800 a year is what they were paying.
Don't help us.
The borough, just them. We're just gonna save them,
Who's didn't, the secretary changed hands, right?
yeah, about 3 times. We're
So I
probably getting
think
another
like
one
we
now.
were 2 years behind, because I called, and I thought I talked to a man. because he
Yeah,
said to
probably
him,
Randy's
"They
off.
got the
Is
workers' comp."
compensation by the
And-
census or by how many firemen you have?
By the census mostly.
By the way.
Yeah.
I thought it was by the firemen.
Well, there's parts of it too. It's just like the foreign fire insurance, it goes by assessed valuation, okay, then also by your census. And there's so many figures that, what gets me peed is, state college has everybody, they get millions, about $2 million a year. And Glen Hope Borough, we're lucky to get $500 a year. Our insurance just we have an accident and health on top of the workers' comp, and we also have a 24-hour death benefit to cover our guys, giving something to cover them if they're in an accident, 24-hour accident policy. Just those two policies cost us about $4,000 a year. Luckily down between, we have been lucky, between Knox and Bigler, we're getting right around between 8,000 and 9,000, our league association. I don't know how they ever had insurance at the time, keep insurance up on the guys. I mean, we still have workers' comp, but we kind of, I can't say over-insure them, but it's just nice to have extra insurance on guys as workers, because workers' comp can be picky sometimes, anymore, at least anymore it seems like they're doing that, what I mean, so.
That way, we carry the same on our guys, with the same, but you guys, I think was like last year was like 800, the release line was like 800 and some. And hers up there was like, so we getting like 1,600 a year, but that was the premiums for.
That come out of foreign fire insurance.
Foreign fire insurance or
State
release
comes to
association,
you and you have
which
to
comes
give
from the state or whatever, and
You
you
can buy
guys.
up the fire companies, however, if you say you have 4 fire companies, so how you have to buy?
Well, we have a percentage.
Percentage.
So we got 100% of our money, and if Glendale does 40% of our township, they get 40% of it. Glen Hope does 10%, they get 10%.
And that's what workers' comp, how big area, I said, it's a big area, but there's no people, I said, so how many, that's why they want to go off the census then. You know what I mean, because you got, pretty much from, I said, Turner there, and you got clean up over here, that's a big area, there's no people, hardly anybody, so. I guess we're just here to try to
Get
sort it out
something.
so we can have it on paper, you
See,
know?
we paid $1,186 to Glen Hope.
I had no idea.
20% of it. 20%
Of their total.
Glen Hope Council estimated that 20% of their area is McCary Township.
Yeah,
You got-
Other workers' comp.
Workers, yeah, workers' comp, yeah, okay.
So, I'm sure,
See, good, and also workers' comp goes in 500 increments, that's why I can put it. So between 15 and 2,000, you pay one price, from 2,000 to 25, you pay a price. If I'm right, because I talked, Mr. Goober has the insurance, he says the project, our township probably go up about $1,000, because we're just gonna be, like,
for the insurance,
yes.
because of combining.
Well, because we put Glen Hope Borough and part of Cary Township on the workers' comp, it's gonna be about $1,000.
Right, but it should be cheaper for everybody, because that's why you guys.
Right, in the long run, it should be cheaper. Like I said, it's gonna go up that because we went over the 2,000.
Well, yours went up 1,000, but they're gonna not have to pay, Glen Hope's not gonna have to pay this.
Right, Glen Hope's like, all right, Glen Hope's not paying the workers' comp, everything's under bigger.
Yeah.
If 1,000, if 1,100 was 20%, if 1,100 was 20%, evidently Arvona was paying, well, 10,000, that would have been 10, they must have been paying about $5,700, like you said.
Probably. Yeah.
So now it's only 1,000,
It's
so it should be it's $4,000 cheaper.
It's
Glen Hope's is.
It's
Glen Hope's gonna get away cheaper for fire protection, even if they sign the contract for us for $2,500. Okay, plus they have to give us all their foreign fire insurance.
So that's gonna be.
And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the workers' comp is, that's one.
You guys are gonna have to bring to us what the compensation costs.
Okay, that's kind of the, I guess, I'm gonna feel like the township, because like I said, the township, the bill goes to the township, so I kinda know.
Right, so they're gonna know how much it costs extra, they're gonna have it divided. We're gonna have to know what Glen Hope's insurance compensation costs, and then we'll pay a percentage of that, obviously.
No, it's not Glen Hope's, because Glen Hope's now part of both. of
Right,
us.
but they'll have it separated, I'm sure they'll tell you what it costs for that portion.
Of the people in McCary Township.
Glen Hope,
On Glen Hope and.
that, they won't care about Vicari, as long as you find
Right.
out what Glen Hope costs, we'll take the 20% of that.
Well, that's not fair though,
Really?
because, again, our guys, because technically then they could charge you the $6,500 if they wanted. They could, our township would say, well, this is what they're getting away with, that's what Glen Hope's was. Because I don't know if they're gonna charge Glen Hope, but that's what Glen Hope was paying, so we'll just take that money, they're gonna pay us, and
No,
I think you'll be ripped off then, I think. I can't imagine being over $1,000, but I don't know.
Right, but here's what I'm saying, we're not gonna we don't wanna know what your compensation costs for your whole fire company. You're gonna have to say, you're gonna have to tell us what your like, right now, your compensation company's gonna tell you, or your township's gonna say, hey, this is what our compensation costs.
For so many people.
No, for our whole area, Glen Hope is this much, so that is 30 or 20 or 30% of our bill. And then we pay 20% of your 30%.
Another way, some of them do, is, I don't know exactly what Bigwood Township, how they would come to. They come up with, say, per person. So if there's 100 people, say, in McCary Township, and whatever, and then it's maybe whatever, and it's $5, $6, $10, whatever it would be, or $10 would be still 1,000. I would assume it'd be a lot less than that, and then it'd be per person. So then, everybody that's covered under that is paying similar toward the actual.
Everybody,
That would work too, but that's gonna be tough for you to keep track of the people. Yeah, okay.
you go
That would
by
work
the
too.
people, correct? Of how many people that
course, there's a lot
For
more, that's a major
borough, how
one.
many, their percentage is covering in the township. See, and like I said, I've never did a partial of a township before, we always did the whole township. So what I believe our township was, they got the bill, okay, say it was, $2,000 for a fact, and we're covering 2,000 people, so it come up to $1 a person. And then, they charge, this township, if the census says they have 800 people, charge 800, and the bigger township will pay the rest of it. Because we only have 2 townships. So I'm taking, that's how they're gonna have it figured out, but I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I'm not
somewhere,
exactly positive. And by the township code, it says, it depends how you wanna say what the fair share is. Because to take it in, even though
it's gotta be
it's
easy.
Bigler Township, they are gonna pay the most because it's like, well, technically it's under their fire company. Like I said, it's a screwed up situation. It's only gonna get worse because now all the paid fire companies are trying to get on workers' comp for PSTD. And no one can, from all the bad stuff that happens, so now there's a bunch of claims going on for that, and I can just see insurance going up like.
Oh, it's gonna go up.
Yes,
I already
it's-
warned about that.
It's.
But I don't think it's gonna be that complicated. We gotta be fair about it. So
Like I said, I don't
I
know,
think it'd be pretty simple to figure out the percentage.
I would ask Phil, but I'm not sure if he knows, probably Tim does, I'm sure Tim does everything down there. I would think that,
But-
at least figure it out.
What's your goal for tonight? Why did you come? Just to tell us the contract needs redone?
Yeah,
So as soon as we figure out how to do, you guys come up or whatever, yeah, we're more than willing to sign a contract. We're ready.
That was a major thing, because there's
Well, I'm
no,
speaking for
technically,
myself. but-
yeah,
No, that's,
Yeah.
because, ours, technically, you could tell us that,
right, the township and boroughs have the right to get any fire company they want to.
No, we're gonna keep the
Well,
same.
cover their area along with any ambulance.
Yeah, well, we're gonna keep going the same way it's going, we just need to figure out of what you guys need, which it shouldn't be hard at all to do, I can,
Like I said, I just don't
Numbers
know,
in
I don't
front
know
of
how,
me, I can do it.
I don't know how big their township, and I'm not sure if they
Contract's
let you
different
do
than
it or
workers'
not.
comp. Right.
the contract's just a contract, that's so much, that's just the amount of money that you guys.
Right, just the flat amount of money,
You're gonna have.
and whatever percentage of the relief association, or the foreign
foreign
fire,
fire.
we call it, like I said, you'll see it's under bigger township.
Well,
fire
we-
Why would
relief.
that stay the same though, because?
Yeah, it should
It
stay.
should stay the same, only it'll go to Bigwood Township instead of Glenville.
Right.
Oh, so we're not gonna get your portion of fire relief then?
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You will,
We'll
but
get those. They're still in McCary Township.
we're still covering part of, if they.
Oh, but we're not sending it to Glen Hill.
Right.
And the new address is on there. It's actually Bigler Township Firemen's, and it's been like that. I've been in fire company 50 years, I don't know why, it's
Yeah,
Bigler
Bigler
Township
Township.
Company back there.
Yeah, it should stay exactly the same.
Right.
I'm gonna
Our
say,
part's staying the same, I just don't know what the workers' comp's gonna be.
well, that shouldn't be any problem whatsoever for them to tell you what that is, your choice.
Kim will probably be able to.
Yeah, she don't get into Friday, though.
She'll be on Friday.
Or she has already worked. I don't know, I'm pretty sure Philbert, he might know, but I kinda doubt it.
Well, more or less, we felt, Dwayne and I felt that we needed to come and make sure you guys,
No, we were-
we're on board, that you said, well, if they're gonna do that, then we'll go with whoever.
Right.
Yeah.
The court hearing was, I believe, November 17th, so technically we've been merged since then, but since then, our second meeting in January, we had officially accept all Glen Hope members, just like the relief associations, to merge the two relief associations. We're still doing a couple things to get everything merged and to the state the right way, that's what I can put it. So,
The new organization, who is the solicitor for your new organization?
We have a, what do I call it? It's Rob Brady, he's consultant, to help us with the merger, which is the attorney that we're using right now. Because all their stuff goes into the Shenandoah.
You want a copy of that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like, they pretty much will shut down. but it's still gonna be done upstairs. It's gonna be their.
I kept the original thing from the paper.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Like,
Most of the guys on there aren't even alive on the Brian Oak side, I don't know about the security.
Dick Doss still is.
No,
Dick Doss died?
that's, oh, it is junior, I thought it was senior. Yep, that would be. I thought it was Richard Dock senior, I guess it looked, I thought it said senior, but I guess it is junior.
Yep, no, this was Clyde Jones, Ron and John McGarvey.
And you want me to,
That was Arnold. Bucky, they called him Bucky. He didn't break above you.
That is a dude.
Yeah. My dad didn't start the way
Rocky
he
Clyde
thought.
and Old McGovey, John McGarvey, yep. Okay,
do you
yeah,
want me
we're
to
good.
call up if I find out, or can Kim call somebody, or?
Yeah, it sounds to
And then
me,
you can talk to her how she, and then you can explain to them more or less. Like I said, I don't really get into the workers' comp part of it, no, but like I said,
then
a
you
long
guys,
time ago, our township was trying to charge all the other townships more than it should have been. And then kind of you bring the township code that our township's only allowed to charge you fair value or fair something that says, I can't exactly what it says in the township code, but your fair share. I think.
sure, so the comp should be pretty self-explanatory, we can, either your insurance or whoever does that, I guess it would be either your township would call ours, and you're calling your township, Kim's your secretary there too?
Yeah.
Kim Caldwell, so that should be, I'm sure figure that, as far as the contract goes, you gotta figure out a fair price of what the contract would be because of all the more area that, of it is Beccaria Township, and you guys gotta come up with that contract number, I would think.
Well, we want to be fair, I mean,
Well, we
we're
can-
satisfied with what you're, we're satisfied for right now until we get out onto this and see, you know, then I can tell you about how many calls we run or whatever else in that area, but, you know.
To start
we're
out?
To start out, just the same thing you're paying them, is what
Okay.
we're looking at.
That's good, then all we need to do is get the compensation ironed out, and
Okay.
we'll be ready, and I imagine, since you had to pay that 1,000, you should be getting a credit from Glen Hope, should be getting a credit of the 5,000.
They got
They got credit
they
back.
got.
Okay.
So
Because
they
they pay
should
your, I
be
think,
able to roll that credit into the other, and I would think we're probably good for this year, the way it sounds, because
did you pay
American
Glen
should.
Hope
Huh?
for,
Yeah,
The 24th of November, I paid them.
for 2025?
Yes.
Okay.
So we should probably, with your credit, I'm thinking we're probably good for
Well,
this
tell,
year.
when Kim called, I'll have to call up here, we'll talk to you. And tell her that, because then I can go back to, we can go back to Glen Hill Borough, so, you know, well, you owe this much on the carrier side to pay us, you know what I mean? Because they're getting away from, like I said, I'm guessing there's gonna be, I don't know, $1,000. Like I said, I'm just
Well,
guessing.
they're gonna have to pay their share
There's their share.
still.
Yeah.
Then
They're gonna have to
either you
reimburse
gotta reimburse
You
you.
guys
so
our
they can-
share.
Right, either they gotta reimburse you
So it
guys.
should be
or-
good.
And then pay bigger township or whatever, you know what I mean? Either way, they just gotta figure out the
Yeah.
logistics
So
here.
we're, I guess if, without going on all night about it, we're on board with you.
Okay.
We appreciate everything you do for that. I know that's a thankless job there.
Getting harder. Getting more expensive too.
And, you know, you just don't see many young guys here with you.
We got some young guys that, you know,
Yeah,
they don't like getting into politics, they're younger, you try to wean them on a little bit, so.
So if you guys are good, we're
You don't
good.
see many young people in politics at all.
We'll just roll that over to the Kims and we'll let them handle it.
Okay, all right.
alright.
Sounds good.
Alright,
Thanks.
thank you.
Have a
Thank
good night.
you. Well,
You guys take care.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah.
Anything, Mark? Anything, Jerry?
Thank you for the privilege to be here, and I apologize that I sent an undocumented letter with,
No problem.
without the seal on it. And,
Okay.
I just comment on what happened there. I can't understand why the solicitor wouldn't give the ratio for each jurisdiction.
He probably wouldn't, I don't think you would want to pay him by the hour to do that math, but they can do it real easy. It's really not that hard to
Yeah,
figure
it's
out.
not,
thank you.
Pretty simple.
Just a question I did.
Yeah, and he would, I'm sure. I'm sure if you'd call and ask him, he'd be glad to put the clock on and start timing and do it for you, but it's not that hard that you need a solicitor to do it.
Because in his order, I mean, his petition to the court, he would have had to give some kind of ratio of what service is going to be
So it might
done.
already be there, once we
Yes.
might even find that out.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be that tough of a deal.
no.
And it should. It sounds to me like the merger's gonna be a good deal if they already only had to add $1,000 and they were paying $5. That sounds like it's gonna be good.
Seems like you understood it real well.
What's that?
It seems like you understood it real well. So,
Well, could find out tomorrow I was wrong.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yep. All right, so back on the new business. Geotech Engineering submitted a permit for RES coal surface mining to located at the Schrock Road. Need a land use letter signed. Kim's looking for it, I can tell.
I have it here, but I don't know where you signed.
Hmm?
I don't know where you signed, I looked and I can't, oh, here.
So the Pennsylvania Park Environmental Protection carried a proposed new surface mine show.
Who is RES Coal Company?
That's big coal company from down there. They're the ones that bought Skyhaven out and
Vendor, all vendors.
yeah.
They're doing vendors land too.
Oh, they bought them like too?
Well, they
Some of it,
got their
they just took
leases.
over one job. up
Some of their
there.
leases.
Yeah. So I don't even know really what RES stands for, but I did know. Rose, no, I think Rose is different.
Roberts, something.
Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we need to figure this out, but then we do it every time. We're gonna have to call and make sure, but and I would like to answer these like, we have not adopted a municipal or multi-municipal comprehensive plan. I think we went through this before and found that out.
Right, we follow the county.
We follow the county, so we don't have our own. And we have not adopted a county zoning ordinance, or, I'm gonna say yes, we have adopted the county zoning ordinance, or a municipal or joint municipal zoning ordinance, but we need to, I don't wanna sign saying I swear to that yet. But I'm pretty sure that's the way that goes, so we need to check have not, and then we have, because we follow whatever the county rules are. And then it says, the municipality of Buchanan states that its zoning ordinance is generally consistent with its municipal comprehensive plan and the county comprehensive plan. And so then we find out that that map that they sent us, right? All that stuff meets the provision of the local zoning ordinance, which as long as the county okays it, then it does. And we can't contest that. And we can't say that we contest any challenge by the application with regard to the zoning, because as long as the county's giving it, we're okay. Name the contact, which we don't have additional comments, we don't have any. And then we would just, Richard D. Youngkin, chairman, signature, and date. But I don't wanna sign that until we find that out for sure, okay? So we'll check on that. BCI and, oh, so anyway, if that is all the case, then it's all right, because it's all with the county, then I'll just sign it. You guys.
You don't need a motion for anything like
No,
Oh,
it's just a letter sign.
Good deal.
DCI MA land easement contract signed. Right here. What's this about? No. And we don't have to have this notarized? Or we do?
Didn't see that.
Is that for the new pipeline?
Yes.
Thank you.
Because it's gonna be on, in the township right away, so they want, of course, an easement to work on their line. Hmm? Seals,
Says seal, that would be-
that's gotta be done at the notary. So I'll just have to find time around the notary and we'll get that done. But no,
Isn't, somebody down there in Irene now?
maybe, maybe, if you think about it or I think about it, I'll call and ask, but you might be right.
Yeah, I feel like not Shelley, but the other girl.
Okay, we'll find that out, that'd be great. Okay, the resolution for GIDA to submit a grant app for the Coalport Borough building improvements. So, we have to adopt a resolution because GIDA is submitting for a grant to fix to do a roof and a furnace on the old building up there, the Coalport Borough building, and has the nursery and stuff in it. And there is no Coalport Borough now,
That's right.
so they can't have the grant, so they wanted to know if we could, in their behalf, make a resolution to accept this grant, and then we made sure through everyone that we're nowhere near tied in, it's not putting us the owner of the building, we're not taking, all we are is just working as a
Grant sponsor.
grant sponsor. Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome.
So, here's a resolution here for that, and I will make a motion that we accept this resolution 2025-1, that we will be the grant sponsor for the Coalport Borough Building for GIDA authority. If you guys want to read that, you want to read it, you got it, Tom? I read it, just what they told us.
Did they get approval from the municipal receiver for that? Because he has jurisdiction,
I think that he may be the one that was, yeah,
okay,
yes.
just a question.
I think so, Jerry. I know that they're all, let's put it this way, this didn't come from GIDA.
Yeah, we
This
voted
come-
to do that. I'm in the GIDA.
Okay, well, it came from DCD, so I'm sure that was all taken care of.
Thank you.
Well,
Cleanup day.
let's do this first.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes out. So I can just go ahead and sign that for you, right, Kim? You want both of them signed? Maybe we'll print our names on there at some point, Chairman. Okay,
Thank you for endorsing that.
no problem. I hope I can get it with roof on the building. Okay, upon PennDOT approval, have secretary advertise, send bid package for multimodal grant project, Hoop Up and Poplar Street, for the date of May 6, 2025. So, as long as we want to make a motion just to get ahead of the game, so we don't have to wait for another meeting, that if we get the PennDOT approval and we're all ready, that we got these bid packages set and they're ready to go, correct? So they're all in there set and ready to go, we just need a call. So as soon as it gets off their desk and they say it's approved, we need a motion now that we can send these out, right? You need a motion for this?
Yeah.
To do the bid, to send the bid packages out so that we can be getting this. Now, date of wedding, May 6th, what is that? That's the day you wanna open those?
Mhm.
Well, it depends when they give us the approval.
Yeah, we're gonna add in the,
If they give it to us 1 week ahead of time, we're not gonna give them guys a week because that's gonna limit us to a lot of bidders, and we want the more bidders, the better chance you got to get a cheaper deal.
right,
But if we get enough lead time between May 6th, so let's just,
Mark Means from, Hessen Fisher,
right,
he told me he would have that environmental impact thing this week to me.
okay, well, I was on the phone with him quite a bit yesterday, and I got a lot of questions answered. So the only thing he was down to, and Tom did some running for me and got the streets for us. So the only thing he's down to is the endangered species that's live on Hoop Up Road.
Is this to do, the multimodal is something like you're developing an area to?
No, it's a grant we got for the road.
Okay, but what's the scope of the activity on Hopkins and Poplar?
They're gonna pay, we're gonna repay the roads.
Okay, and they'll give money from multimodal. That's usually like if you're gonna do, bike lane or something like
I
that.
don't know. That's what the grant's called.
Excuse me?
Make it right, right?
So, anyway, I make a motion, well, we don't wanna have that May 6th for sure, because we don't know that. How do I wanna do that?
How about if we say that pending approval,
And enough lead time. I'll make a motion pending approval from PennDOT. I make a motion when we get the PennDOT approval for our multimodal grant projects, that we go ahead and send our bid packages out and get bids, as long as, and then we'll determine at that time the date of opening. How's that motion sound? Pretty complicated.
yes, because then we have to hold a special.
Can you erase that part?
We'll have to hold a special meeting then to open bids, and then we have to go through advertising.
Okay, so I make a motion that we go ahead and send our bid, I resent that motion first one, and I'll make a motion that we go ahead and send our bid packages out pending PennDOT approval,
Wait.
and that we have, that pending PennDOT approval gives us enough lead time, we feel, to get the right amount of bids in by May 6th. As long as we get it this week, we'll be all right. If we don't, then we're gonna have to skip this idea, because I don't want to get some guy 1 week to get this bid.
Yeah. I should clear that up. I believe what he told me was, we could still have the date of letting, but not open them until the approval. You can still have your date of letting be May 6th. But the bids have to be here by May 6th. Like, it was my understanding, we can advertise it, send out the bid packets. The date of letting is May 6th, and if we don't.
Bid opening will be pending PennDOT approval.
Ah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Does this include cross drains? That one up by, that's on my property? That'd be great. My son would like to move dirt from his property down over the hill, but I told him I didn't want him to do anything until you had finished your project.
Well, actually, me and him, he and us was gonna work together on that project. and get that drained in the way we thought it would work.
Very good. Thank you.
And I think we kind of used some of his expertise there, because I know he's good at that too, and he was gonna get us, actually, thought he could maybe get us a box culvert for there, and,
Wow. That'd be great.
but I need to talk to him about that now that March come up this quick, April came up this quick already.
Okay, thank you.
You need a second for what you just.
No, she's checking, to make sure she's reading her email over to make sure that she read what she thought she read.
If you have any extra dirt that you need to get rid of, you can put it down over the bank there, up to, across from his property.
Good.
I'll save you some trucking.
We do have all the trucks ready to go now. All ready for summer.
You took them
We
things
put, yeah, we pulled the, spreaders off and plows are all off, clean, ready to go for next year. Oiled down.
Good deal, guys, thanks a lot.
So
Sure,
it
there's
should be
gonna be
good.
snow again.
I hope not.
On your cross drains, you have to dig that dirt out, and then you have to put
100% to
We
ours.
put 2A back in.
back in. Okay, so you are gonna have extra dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, what's that?
That's her phone, I think, over there by the.
What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, you never know. 'Cause we were talking today, remember the average, always before, trout season was April 15th, Saturday closest to that.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of trout streams, on the trout stream and snow. I spent a 70 degrees, but a lot of snow and
But
stuff.
that whole driveway out just to go fishing.
Oh, we hope not.
Who
But
cares?
we pulled it.
Won't last long.
No.
What'd you find out, Kim?
Okay. He suggests going ahead, this is Randy Albert at PennDOT. Go ahead, advertise and open the bids and table the award pending the approval.
Ah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion. We'll start over.
Makes sense.
I'll make a motion that we advertise and send the bid packages out for our multimodal grant project for the Hoop Up and Poplar Street for date of letting May 6, 2025, but we will
Give you a
take,
time cutoff, you wanna do the meeting?
yeah, 7:30 PM. Well, make it up. At 7:30 PM.
Okay.
But will not award the bid until PennDOT approval.
So if I would have won the bid, I wouldn't know until PennDOT tells you you can award it.
We won't award it.
Thank
They'll
you.
have a good idea that night, because they're gonna know which one's cheaper, and it's gonna be all what's cheaper. But we wouldn't dare award it until they approve. Everything's real good, but we just can't do it until we got that.
I mean, we got the grant, we're not waiting on approval of the grant,
Wow.
we have the grant. It's just we have to get word
From
from
the-
Harrisburg that it went through.
We got a new program, and it's giving them a fit.
I'll second that, Kenny.
All those in favor say aye. So,
Aye.
good thing you-
Well, I was watching her, she was still writing.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of that. Old business. Okay, we are ready.
Wait. At the last meeting, we had about cleanup day. I scheduled a cleanup day for May 22nd,
Okay.
Thursday. Thursday, May 22nd, and then it'll go to the landfill on Friday is our scheduled date to go to the landfill. But we're gonna do it the same as we did before and have them come here. There are residents, no court, no nobody, just us.
Well, that's will be the Cary Township.
Yeah. Is this one that they don't allow tires?
Right. Then they're doing it again in the fall and they'll take tires then.
Oh, okay,
So we can tell people that.
okay.
In the fall, they're taking tires, they're not taking tires this time, just the same stuff that they always do.
Okay, so cleanup day will be May 22nd, Thursday, starting at 8 a.m.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, about 8, yeah.
8 a.m.
Full or what time?
till trucks are full, or huh?
4 or 4 o'clock.
Or 4 o'clock.
Do 4?
Yeah.
That's good.
No matter.
Till trucks are full,
I didn't
or
read that, Brian also.
4 p.m. All right, for people of Cary Township, residents of Cary Township, no tires. We are gonna do it again in the fall, and then they're gonna accept tires then.
You have a tire dump on Heverly Road.
Right. Oh, yeah. Does that need a motion or anything?
That's just an accident, already doing
Okay, good.
it. Okay, so that's it for new business, old business. We're gonna advertise, or Dan, could you get her all the statistics of the loader? What it is?
Yeah, basically, it's just a case, W14.
You don't know the year.
No, early 90s, don't know the year.
Early 90s or 80s?
90, 89, 90, 91, something like that.
Is it that new?
Yeah, I thought it was 80 something.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know, I thought it was
cause didn't we find
a book in there.
when we were looking for
Oh, yeah,
the,
yeah. What day?
like, early eighties,
That's what I was.
when we were looking
Oh, it was,
through.
oh, it was 90. 90.
Well, tell you what.
No, I don't know.
Maybe you can get us those, or,
There was a book
number.
that had some numbers that it didn't match the loader. I know every time I called, and talked to the guys up there. Up
Did you
there,
get a serial number off it, off the frame?
No, it's gone. It was on the body and it's tore. There was written down paper in there.
All right, let's advertise bids for another W14
It is a 14.
case loader.
Another year.
Don't know the year.
Okay, and, date unknown.
Yeah, I don't know. That day, I don't know.
Runs today.
It runs.
It ran yesterday.
Ran yesterday. Maybe.
That's
It does not move.
Like you said, it's the same.
Transmission.
So we need to get that.
Although he did say that he did this on 312.
Right, they redid it on 312. So that, we'll get that wrote down, can keep bugging us till we get it to you, and we'll get that advertised so we can.
Do you want to state that the transmission don't work? Because it don't work.
Sure.
Okay.
I want to be truthful.
Yeah, the engine will run, but the transmission will not move.
Yep.
It just won't move.
And we want to open those bids will be due next meeting.
Okay.
We already got one.
Is that all right? Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Do you want to take it back now that you know the transmission doesn't work?
No, I already knew that. I asked
No, we have to
the
sign
honorable
this.
supervisor.
That's just for Kim's to take her taxes back.
Okay.
We just have to sign it.
I got a question, just, can we use, the cemetery association use this next month for our annual meeting?
Yep.
Okay, I'll get the key off Kim, probably be in the middle of May or something.
Okay, Mark. Yes, I'm the president here.
Yes. Does anybody know when she has her hours here? I asked her to put a thing on the door.
Can you call them, just tell her to do that again?
Yeah.
So people are gonna need to know that.
I'm sure it says in her taxes.
Mr. Chairman, I refuse to sign as a tax collector. I think it's unfair what they do, because you have a penalty stage in your taxes. There's discount, face, and penalty. It de-incentivizes people to pay Canvas, is my objection. Because the county takes that report, which you'll see, it's face amount. They take it back to face. They don't, and take away the penalty amount that you would have normally got. And I think it de-incentivizes, because if you don't pay it in discount, you might as well wait until the next year to pay your taxes. Because the county takes the amount after December 31st, reverts it back to face amount, and then puts $50 on. I don't think it's right. I refuse every time to sign that document, because I
Well,
don't think it's fair.
if they take away the penalty and put $50 on, wouldn't that $50 be more than a penalty a lot of times?
No, the penalty on, let's say your taxes are $1,000, and the penalty is, that you normally would have gotten would have been $100 or $200 more. That $50 doesn't cover that at all. So you lose all the penalty amounts. And I think Kim will see it real quick, that they just drop off the penalty amount that you normally should have gotten before December 31st. So the following year, they take it back to face amount. I refuse to sign.
When do they take it back, after January 3rd or December 31st?
After December 31st, next year, they start sending people bills, and you'll see it right on there. I have done a right to know to see how they do it, and one of the personnel down at the assessment office said, well, people like to wait until the next year because they can put it all on payments, and that's true. But I don't like the idea that the borough lost all that penalty amount of money.
Who gets that penalty, the borough and the township?
You should have gotten, if you see what the penalty amount was, it's a great amount of money.
But we still get money whenever they pay the taxes at the county.
Yes, but
They send us a check.
but they subtract the penalty amount. They just collect, and they get the penalty money. They don't pass that on to you. Because I have a right to know, and I see how much they send the borough. Yeah. That's my, excuse me?
Yeah, that is something.
It is, if you look at the penalty amount, it's quite a bit of money. So I objected to it, I wrote to the commissioners, I had a 39-page dissertation that I objected to that. I think they put it in files 13. Dr. Tatum said when she was the commissioner that she reviewed what I wrote, but they didn't do anything. They keep doing the same thing. After December 31st, they drop the penalty amount that should come to the township, and they revert it back to the face amount, and then they just put $50 on, and if you don't pay it, there's penalty amount put on, but the county keeps that penalty amount. They don't pass that on. All they pass on to you is the face amount. So my objection is that they are de-incentivizing the taxpayer to pay the tax collector before December 31st. Because most of them, if they don't pay a discount, they do not pay at all. They just let it go until next year. About 1/3 of the money that should have, so I get Canvas gets no consideration or finance or I don't know what your percentage for her work, that you pay. I get 5% from the borough, but you only get about 1% from the county. It's not a big money-making issue, for the tax collector,
Yep.
but I enjoy working with people.
Okay, Jared,
Thank you for the time.
thank you. All right, anything else?
Yep, no, everything's going good.
I'll have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes, got it.
Congratulations on getting the grant. You all are really doing good on grants.
Yeah. Well, it's probably gonna dry out now for a while.